Welcome back to Cinema Flicks Music Picks. I'm Davey, your host with the most, the beast with the least. Well, the least I can do today is a quick review of Ultravox's Vienna. It's not what it says in the box below. Oh well, a best review, the Bob Clark collection from 101 Films then. Sorry. So, released on Monday coming, the Bob Clark Horror Collection. Sorry Porky's fans, the Horror Collection is due out on Monday week. And 101 Films are releasing it as part of their Black series, which means it has black spine and it comes numbered and that is black instead of red. There's not much to it really. You usually get a nice booklet and things, that's about it. But it's the movies, folks. That's the most important thing. We're not all about the presentation. Movies here. So, 3 films included here, which you should have been able to ascertain already, are Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, a lesson I learned far too late in life, Deathdream, and Black Christmas, the evergreen holiday favourite for many. That's a bit cynical having it in here. It's clearly there to shift a few more copies, but hey, never mind that. Let's have a look at them individually then. So what I do love about this set, is that it has been designed to be part of a set, so it isn't just 3 things that are going to be sold individually, bundled, and then, you know, it's just with a box around it. And by the way, it's one of these boxes where people on videos like to do this to prove that it's a hard box and not some kind of flimsy nonsense. So this box is so sturdy, I could stand on it. I'd break it, but I could stand on it. Anyways, so we'll do them in order, shall we? So from 1972, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. And you'll see what I mean straight away here. We are getting the actual piece of art that they want to show instead of an actual cover. They do give you the option, if you want to switch it for a more conventional cover and get this, which is rather fetching if I do say so. But I like the simplicity of what they've done with these, to give them just one piece of kind of iconic artwork, you know. So I don't think I need to go into the plot synopsis of all these. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. A theatre troupe travels to this island with it's ostensibly a place for criminals to be buried. I think they call that Pennsylvania. They get into this fake cult kind of thing. Their erstwhile leader, the leader of this troupe of carnival folk, or theatre troupe, is doing a black magic spell. I don't know, voodoo nonsense, all that jazz, and they get a little bit more than they bargained for. You can write the script from there pretty much, but it has a wonderful bleak ending, a really bleak ending, which I love in a film. I love a film that just says, fuck it, let's just really go for a downbeat ending. And this is a lovely edition of it. Commentary with Alan Ormsby, the star. A lot of these were just friends of Bob Clark's. Jane Daly and Anya Cronin. An interview with Alan Ormsby. He is your main guy. He's your star, seems the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Memories of Bob Clark. Confessions of a Gravedigger. Interview with Ken Gotch. Grindhouse Q&A. Cemetery Mary music video. Dead Girls Don't Say No music video. Doesn't seem very PC, that title. I don't like that. Trailer and photo gallery. And amazingly, this is now a 15 in the UK. I remember this used to be like, it was one of the ones you had to see a black mass yourself to get a copy of this back in the day, and now you can just order it from Amazon and it's only a 15 because of strong sex references, bloody images, and threat. Oh, that threat, it gets everywhere, doesn't it? So that's our first. Here's our second, Deathdream. Again, see what they've done? Gone for one iconic image here. It's a little bit spoilery, but they've done it. And I'll show you the inner It's kind of real cover, if you will, which is rather groovy actually. I do love that cover, but it does not sum the film up at all. This is, you're a horror hound if you're watching this video. The Monkey's Paw. Be careful what you wish for. It's this, and it's more than that actually. So a young soldier killed in Vietnam, and his mother wishes that he wasn't. She gets the letter to say he's, been killed, etc., etc. Then the door goes, and it's her son. But, as you can tell from the cover, the fact that this is in a horror collection, the fact that I've just mentioned Monkey's Paw and be careful what you wish for, things do not end well in that little scenario. But it's not just a version of the Monkey's Paw. It's not just that. It talks about, really eloquently, about what war does to a human being, how it turns them into a monster. So, by going to Vietnam and by signing up, Andy, the dead fella, he ostensibly has become a monster already. It's very, very anti-war. It's not saying support the troops, anything like that. It's basically saying anybody who goes to war is a monster. It's quite heavy-handed in that way, and if you're not at least pacifistic, if not a complete pacifist, you will probably find that it's a little bit insulting if you've got family members who are in the services and whatnot. I happen to agree with the sentiment, but it's a little bit over the top, perhaps. But I love the boldness of it. I love the boldness of saying that loud and proud, that war makes men into monsters. Not just some men, not just the Hitlers and the Mussolinis, not just the SS guards, not just the baddies in World War II movies. The guy down the street, nice Andy, nice Andy that used to fetch your granny milk and used to do his paper rounds. He's a monster too, because of war. What war does to a human being is wonderful, absolute wonderful film. I highly recommend it. This is also recommended, this disc in particular, because it's got a brand new documentary called Dreaming of Death, and that's a feature-length documentary all about Bob Clark. Now, Bob Clark had the most fascinating career. He was directing these horrors, but then he did like the Porky's movies, and in between he did a wonderful Sherlock Holmes movie, Murder by Decree. He did Rainstone, a remake of My Fair Lady / Pygmalion, with Dolly Parton teaching Sylvester Stallone how to be a country singer. I shit you not. Look that up if you don't believe me. Rainstone, Dolly Parton teaching Sylvester Stallone to be a country singer. That ends worse than this. Wish we were all dead after hearing Sylvester Stallone singing country. But Bob was all over the shop. Look up his filmography, man. It's insane. And he did the Porky sequel even. So he was never. Oh, I'm above that now. I'm moving on with my career. And then one I really don't need to go into, Black Christmas. Again, I love that they've got a singular image for it here, but here's the reversible. I already own this twice, including the 4K, but Swarity girls and Killer on the Loose, and it's Slasher 101, literally Slasher 101. It's one of the films that launched the whole genre, so I don't need to go into this. Believe me, even if you've not seen this, you've seen it, because you've seen a million films that steal every single bit of this. Audio commentary with John Saxon and Keir Dullea. Keir Dullea and John Saxon together. 2001 meets the Enter the Dragon. Brilliant. Bob Clark does a commentary on it. Nick Manchusco, Remembering Black Christmas with Art Hindle, Remembering Black Christmas with Lynn Griffin, The Legacy 40th Anniversary Panel from Fan Expo 2014, TV and radio spots on the 12th day of Black Christmas, featurette, revisited, and a midnight Q&A with Bob Clark, John Saxon and Carl Zitra. So that's them, and to go into what comes with it, you get some art cards, which are just the covers again, but in art card form. Rather nice though, I love that. It's terrific. Poor Andy, but you know, terrific. Then you get a great booklet, an absolutely fantastic booklet, which is packed with cool imagery. I'm just making sure there's no, yeah, that should be okay. It's a montage, you need to be careful. YouTube will pick up those nipples. And it's done like kind of typewriter style, and they throw it on like that. I'm going to be careful not to show anything spoilerific. So it's, yeah, you can see the way it's been done there, as if it's been written by a serial killer and sent into the people investigating Zodiac. Gosh, that's my granny when she used to wake up in the morning. She doesn't wake up anymore, she's dead. I miss her terribly. Yeah, that's spoiler, I'm not going to show you that. That's a little bit spoiler, I won't show you that. Yeah, but you get the gist here, so I'm really just going around the houses, see if there's anything. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of writing in this, which is great. I hate the ones that just fill it up with non-stop pictures. I can exclude that, because that's such a cool image to have so much black against it. I can exclude that, so that's cool. So that's it, that's the Bob Clark collection. Now I mentioned that this film here is extremely heavy-handed. Deathdream, about war. I'm going to be extremely heavy-handed here. About war, why not? Okay, fuck Vladimir Putin. Okay, let's get that out of the way. I don't think that's a controversial stance. No, I'm going to get on my high horse just for a quick second about drink driving, because Bob Clark was killed in 2007, and so was his son by a drunk driver. It's not worth it, folks. He was a brilliant filmmaker and a wonderful personality in the cult world, and above all, a human being who had a life to live, and a son who had an even longer life to live, and they were both taken because of someone's selfish decision to drink and drive. There's never any excuse. Don't think about, am I near the limit, can I have one more? Just don't drink and drive. Just pretend that the limit is 0, and that if you've had a drink in the last 10 hours, you will not be driving. And that is the safest way to go about it. So, yeah, I don't want to sound like patronising here, but honestly, fucking drink driving is one of the most selfish things you can possibly do. So easy to just not do it. You make that choice to be that first drink down when you're clean and sober. So there's no excuse whatsoever. Bob, we miss you. Mr. Clark Jr., I'm sorry I don't know your name offhand, but I'm sorry you never got to live the life you should have had, all because of one person's selfish actions. But what a legacy your father has left to us with his wonderful, wonderful films, and Rhinestone with Sylvester Stallone and Dolly Parton. But yeah, don't drink and drive, folks. I think that should be reasonably self-explanatory. But and try not to go to war in Vietnam. Richard Nixon can't make you anymore. You don't need to go. They try and tell you, just say no thanks. You know, be like Switzerland in World War II, when they looked out the window and said, "What's going over there in Germany? What's happening there in France? I'm staying out of this. No. If it's fascism, it's acceptable. I think you can, yeah." Anyway, who thought we'd get into all that, eh? I was going to start off with an Ultravox review. Dem's the breaks, kids. Folks, thank you very much for your attention. If you happen to pick this set up, or if you just like these films, leave me a comment, let's have a little chat. I reply to everybody, especially the abusive ones. Yeah, as usual, stay very safe out there. Especially because it's Glasgow on a Saturday evening. Christ almighty, I'm safe in here, I'm hunkered down. Like the Führer in a bunker. Oh wait, better not. No. So stay very safe out there. And as always, love, and lots of love and mercy. Most importantly, love and mercy.